She is a best-selling author. She is our tour guide for our need-to-knows and what-to-dos, our small business guru and entrepreneurial expert. We'd love to welcome once again Rieva Lesonsky to the Small Business Summit. It's always great to see you, Rieva.
Thanks, Penny. It's good to be with you.
Thanks for coming up from California to be with us on the summit today.
Not a problem.
And as I said, the questions, emails are all welcome. We have a couple already stacked up because people know you're here, and we'll get to those in just a minute. So call or email us right now if you have a question for Rieva. So we were just sitting here talking, and the last time Rieva was here was in March when we did the Small Business Summit in the spring. And boy, what a difference 6 months or so can make.
Not even a year. Isn't that amazing?
This tough economic times. People are just living in so much fear right now. I just feel like everybody's just kind of hunkered down.
Exactly, and that's the exact wrong thing to do, especially if you're an entrepreneur. One of the keys to being an entrepreneur is your flexibility. You're able to turn on a dime. You may have had a plan that you started in January, and in March everything looked like it was going well, and now here we are in October, and times are tough. But look at your plan and see, what can I change? How can I make it different? How can I sort of accommodate what's going on today? The worst thing to do is do what you said. Don't be hunkering down. Don't be hiding in a corner. Don't be saving your money. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I'm not going to market now. I'm just going to wait it out. You can't wait it out. You need to get out there and be aggressive, and you need to grow your business. A lot of businesses can be grown in times like this.
Right. This is actually some economic opportunity for small businesses.
There's a great, especially in terms of marketing, when you think about a lot of the big companies have pulled back, so there's more of a vacuum out there. So if you as a small business can go out there, spend a little money on marketing, you can make a little bit of noise. That little bit of noise is going to sound like a way bigger boom because it's much more quiet. And there's bargains to be had. You know, call your local radio station, call your local newspaper. They're all negotiating right now. So you can get more than you could have gotten 6 months ago. And so you can make a way louder noise than you ever could have dreamed of.
All right, we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. Alicia's on the phone now from Enumclaw, and she has a question for Rieva. Hi, Alicia. Welcome to the summit.
Oh, Rieva, thank you for your time. I appreciate what you're doing for our small businesses.
Oh, you're welcome.
Everybody loves Rieva. Okay, so do you have a question, Alicia?
Yes, I do. I've started my own lotion business, and I've formulated and manufactured products that are all natural, so they're chemical-free. And what I'm having problems with is when I introduce the product to some of my working partners, I'm a flight attendant, and I get to explain to them the difference in my products and the benefits of using chemical-free products and what the parabens are starting to be found in cancer tumors, and that a lot of products are full of glycols, which are the airplane de-icing fluids, and we're applying all these products to our body. I'm able to really get some great sales and start educating people. When I've gone to women's shows and I've tried to do more quick sales, I'm really not getting their attention. I send home information and try to educate as I'm also trying to promote my products, but I'm just not getting closing short sales.
So Alicia has her captive audience, so to speak, on the airplane, her fellow flight attendants who are listening to her. How do you break forth at like a women's show?
You have to perfect what's called your elevator pitch, and this is you have to boil down the essence of what you do and why it's important basically to 30 seconds. And it's hard. People think, oh, that's easy. And you literally stand in front of a mirror, write down what you want to do, and then just keep saying it and editing it until you come down to the core of what you do. Keywords, you know, here, organic is a very big word these days. That, you know, cancer, you know, these you're putting chemicals that can cause cancer in your body. So you want to put these keywords into your pitch, get it down to 30 seconds or less. So if you're standing at a women's group and people are coming up to you, you can look somebody in the eye and say, this is what we do, this is how we do it, this is why we're doing it, and hand them a brochure. Make sure your brochure is easy to read. You know, one of the things, big mistake that people make is they want to cram so much information. They make the font size so small that it just becomes, you can't read it.
You just look at it and you toss it in
the
recycle center.
Right. So you want to boil down the highlights of what you're doing on this brochure. Make it pretty. You know, it's organic products and benefits. Everybody always wants to know, what is this going to do for me? It's not about you. No matter what, this is a great product for that, but no matter what you're selling, always emphasize the benefits to the user. If you sit there and just ask yourself, as a user of this, how will I benefit? That's what the keys that you use to write your marketing copy.
Okay, Alicia, thanks for calling. I hope that helped you. Okay, we have another caller on the line, Shelley. And where are you calling from, Shelley?
Hi, Rieva. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh.
And where are you, Shelley? Where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from Issaquah.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Yeah. Listen, I run a luxury organic skincare company called Plin de Vie.
We're on a theme here.
We've just launched a new product called the On the Go Remedy Stick, and I've already had some editorial buzz, but I'm wondering, how do I continue to keep the momentum going about the product?
Mm-hmm. You know, one of the things that a lot of people who do these organic products, and this goes for the previous caller as well, they make the mistake of thinking that they need to market to one woman at a time, one person at a time. And really what you need to do is identify places that market already to numbers of women. So all you have to do is sell to them, and then they can do the selling to other people. Day spas, for one, hair salons. Those places are really looking for breakthrough products that have something different about them, organic, all natural, that people can't find when they go into the mall or they go to a department store or even a mass marketer like Target or Kohl's. They're looking for something in these places, willing to spend a little bit more money because they know it, that is different. And so I would spend a lot of my time, rather than just trying to sustain it, selling it to this person and that person, to go and find places that really cater to where you're going to find, where does your target audience go. A lot of places like gyms even now are selling products because they're trying to add more money to their bottom line. So think about, where do women go in mass, you know, like I said, beauty salons, day spas, gyms, and start marketing it to them. Some independent beauty supply stores will buy independent products from independent entrepreneurs as well.
So you start small and then think about a Walmart or something large,
yes,
Target
because,
or something
you know
later.
When you go to the big stores, you may sell a lot of product, but your margin is so tight and so small, sometimes you can't make money that way.
Right. Okay, we have an email, Rieva, from Adam Riza, and he says, in this day and age, we entrepreneurs are actually living history in these economic turmoil. What should we do as a small business in regards to growth and moving forward? And he says, our financials are strong. We have a 3-year plan for significant growth. Would you recommend that we move forward with our plans and spend our funds to grow now, or best to hold on this year and start growth next year, maybe when times are a little better?
You know, it's sort of like what I said at the beginning. I'm a firm believer, and if you have your plans, not go blindly. You look at what that plan is. Make sure that it still makes sense today. You may have to tweak it here and there, but I'm a really big believer in going forward with it. I mean, obviously, it depends on what you're selling, if it's a product or a service, is the market still buying? But there are products that are necessities, that people need to buy them no matter what. Kids are a great example of that. Kids grow, so they can't wear the clothes they wore last year. Your 6-year-old is likely not to fit into what they wore when they were 4 or 5. And so people have to spend money on certain things. If you have a product that hits that market, obviously you need to get out there. But for everything, you know, let's say you have a product that may be not a necessity, but is it cheap enough that it's still, people are still going out there and buying the $3 cup of coffee because it makes them feel better. They indulge on the little luxury. So if you have a product that maybe has a $15, $20 price point, you can still go forward with your plans to expand, because you know what? It's cyclical, and no one's going to give us the note saying this is going to end in March of 2009. Right. And so you have to keep growing, but always consult your bottom line. You look at your balance sheet and make sure that you're not just throwing all this money out and nothing's coming back. And, you know, it's the ebb and flow, and you have to ebb and flow with it.
Right, and one of the things we were talking about is you said find new trends. With something you do already, maybe you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yes.
But you find something that's kind of related to what you're already doing that finds a new niche or a new trend. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, think about, you've spent all this money, you've invested all this time, you've found sources for what you do. This really works best for people who sell a product or manufacture a product. Friends of mine, they are sunglass manufacturers. They do some of their own, but they do a lot of private labeling and that kind of thing.
A luxury item.
A luxury item.
You're thinking nobody's going to buy it right now.
People don't necessarily need sunglasses. So they thought about, well, what can we do? We have contacts in China that make places that make frames. What do people need? Well, they need eyeglasses. So it's the same sources that they go to in China. It's just a different design. And so they came, and it's a different market. So they came back and they went to the factories in China and said, we want to start doing eyeglasses, and then started, finding lists first locally and then more on a national basis of opticians and optometrists who are selling the glasses in their own little offices. And it took no really new investment in the source of the product to get this going. So anybody, you can do this a lot. If you sell clothing, can you size it up or size it down, for kids? Or if you have kids clothing, can you size it up for adults? Or even handbags, little girls like purses. Can you make, a kid size that's just more, that just broadens your market? Instead of marketing to this, you're marketing with almost the same product to this many people.
All right, we have Paul on the line. Paul, you have a question for Rieva? Paul, you there with us?
I'm here.
Okay, you have a question for Rieva? Go ahead. We're running out of time, so make it quick.
Yes, hi Rieva. This is Paul Anderson with Prolango Consulting.
Hi.
I'm based out of Seattle, and I work with smaller businesses on psychology-based selling. And one question I get asked a lot is, what are some of the most effective strategies for smaller businesses doing businesses with medium to large-sized corporations? Is it more on the social networking? Is it more on relationships? Is it direct marketing? What are some of the strategies I can tell them they should use?
We only have about 15 seconds, Paul, so we're going to get to Rieva's question.
It's networking. It can be social networking. I think that's a good place. But you have to find out, where do these people hang out? Where do they go? Do they go to chamber breakfasts? Are they in their trade shows? And go where they are, because it all comes down to, at the end, is relationships.
All right, Rieva, thank you so much.
Thank you,
We'll be right back with more information.